Welcome back, everyone, to OpenLine. We're lifting up some positive examples of good things happening in the environment. And so that's what we're talking about tonight. We have with us Kathy Glapa. She is with TDEC, and they oversee the Governor's Environmental Stewardship Awards. We've gone through some of the categories and just kind of talked about what some companies or entities are doing, and then just kind of lifting that up, which I think is a good idea. All right, so the Pursuit of Excellence, that's a big award, and I want to identify the winners. There's more than one from last year and what they did. Pursuit of Excellence, Nashville, Metro Davidson County General Services. Why did they win that award? And what is Pursuit of Excellence?
So the Pursuit of Excellence category is a invitation-only category. You can only apply to this when invited by the department because you have been a past winner, a past Governor's Environmental Stewardship Award winner. So we go back 3 years and look at the projects and invite all of them to apply for the Pursuit of Excellence category. And some projects are, one-time projects and done, so they might not be doing anything, so they won't apply. But for instance, the Department of General Services, they have been on this path, and it's kind of making a funny, on the Pursuit of Excellence, they continue year after year after year to show what they're doing and how they're saving money for Davidson County. And some of the things that they have achieved over the years since they won their first nomination is they were able to retrofit 11 different city facilities to be more energy efficient, be LEED certified. We've talked about that already. They have 20 high-performing buildings, and they've avoided close to $2 million in energy costs over the past 5 years. In their non-LEED buildings, they said that this equates to 60 billion kBTUs, which is the gas equivalent. They've saved roughly 30 million gallons of water during the same period.
All right, how did they save 30 million gallons of water? Okay, that's great. That's a great number. How did they do that? What happened? That's great.
So with that, they were able to do upgrades at a lot of their buildings with, whether it was low-flow sinks, low-flow toilets. Some of their buildings have showers, so I'm assuming they probably traded out some of the shower heads. They probably went tankless with hot water heaters. So the particular nomination, when I'm reading over it, doesn't actually break out the water savings, but those are the things that I think of right off the top of my head that I know that they could do to achieve those savings over that period. They were able to use an energy management system to be able to control HVAC and lighting schedules at 11 facilities across Davidson County, which saved them $280,000 by just making schedules. We talk about, hey, get a programmable thermostat, see if you can turn your lights on and off, via the Wi-Fi. That's what they did, but they're doing it across Davidson County at all their facilities. They installed solar. When they first won, that was part of the large part of the project that they won, but then they continued to install solar because they saw what the savings were doing for them by installing those across the buildings in Nashville.
It says Metro's 12 rooftop solar installations. So they put solar panels on 12, I guess, rooftops on 12 different buildings. Is that right?
Correct.
And
there was some at the police department, some at the fire station, some at their actual city buildings.
That's enough to power 233 homes for a year.
Yeah.
Equivalent of taking 1.5 million vehicle miles off the road. Okay, so 1.5 million vehicle miles. All right, so they're doing some solar stuff. 12
they're doing
different rooftops around the city. That's great.
Yes, and they continue to just add because they have, I believe, some goal that they're trying to achieve carbon neutral by 2030. I think Davidson County is. I think. So they're going to continue this path to get to that goal. one way or the other.
Excellent. Okay, another winner in this category was Dixon, right? What did Dixon do? Or that's in the county of Dixon. It's what? Yeah. What won there?
Tinsco, which is a manufacturing facility. It's the largest manufacturing facility in Dixon County. They manufacture storage and filing products. So, like, think about storage racks in warehouses and those types of things. That they make those in Davidson County. They were able to upgrade and install more solar. The first project that they won when they won in the past was for solar on-site solar. So they then installed solar on another building. I think they have 4 or 5 buildings total out there in Dixon County, and they were able to install another solar system on another building. And they also were able to install another thing that, and I'm trying to think of what the name of that was. It was, I am going blank on what the name of the particular piece of thing that they installed there that made it unique to their particular project. But just like Davidson County and General Services and what they were doing, they saw and realized the savings from their project before and said, we're just going to make this bigger, and we're going to do it here at this building because this is our next largest facility here. So we're going to install the solar there as well.
So it sounds like TDEC is really recognizing solar, right? I mean, that's a real positive thing that you're seeing all across the state. Is that right, or what would you say?
I would say it's definitely one project that has been recognized as of late, because I think a lot of people are kind of getting on the bandwagon of seeing the savings. I think it's hard for residents like myself. Like, I would love to have solar, but the cost is just astronomical. But I think it makes sense in these types of situations when you look at manufacturers or municipalities, and because they can then turn that large savings right over and put it right back into another project. So it does make sense for facilities and organizations. Like I said, I would love to put it on my house, but I don't think that I could bear the cost right now.
Okay, what else comes from Pursuit of Excellence? Either past winners, like from previous years, or what about that category?
So I think another winner that is good to mention here, and I feel like we're talking a lot about Davidson County, but it's just the nature of the beast. A lot of things go on in large counties. The year before last, in 2020, the National Food Project was selected as a winner for the Pursuit of Excellence category, and they won for pretty much what they call food recovery. From the time that they won their last award up until the 2020 award, they were able to divert 145,000 pounds of edible food from the landfill. So they were able to partner with 6 different grocers and food wholesalers in Davidson County, 27 farmers, 37 restaurants and caterers, and 56 schools, and were able to turn that food around and helped people that had food insecurity. So people that weren't able to maybe buy food, or they turned some of the food over to organizations like in Clarksville, we have a place called Loaves and Fishes. So it would be a charitable donation to a place like that where they're serving meals to people with food insecurity. So they were able to take all of that money or all of that food and turn it back over to the people that desperately needed the food. And then in turn, it kept it from going to our landfill. And if anybody knows, food in the landfill is one of our largest gas emissions producers. So, like, you think about throwing all that food away, let's compost it, because we can do that, and it'll be used in turn for something else. So they were able to help with that. That's also
fascinating. I love that. So they diverted all that food from going into the landfill. And how did they do that? Like, what did they do? Go to restaurants, or what did they do?
So they partner with all of those grocers, and so say they have a batch of fruit that might be on its way out. Well, instead of putting it in the garbage, they would collect those the fruit or produce or meat that's on the date, and they would take that and then in turn donate it back over to the other programs that serve the food to the needy.
That's great. All right. So now in the final moments, we have, I think, 4 minutes or so. How, again, would people apply? What is involved in applying? And just walk us through how you would apply for this.
Okay. The application is online, and it is all done online. I will preface this with, it is not a savable document, so once you're in it and you start putting your stuff in, you're in it. So make sure you have all of the items that you need before sitting down at the computer. We ask that you write a 2,000 word story. Tell us your story, because think of this, the judges may or may not have ever heard of your project or program. They need to feel it, see it. They need to know the passion of the story. So that way when they're reading, they're like, man, this is a really great project. Answer those criteria questions or eligibility criteria categories that you need to complete. You have to have 4 or more supporting documents to accompany your story or your 2,000 word application portion. And you can submit up to 8 supporting documents. And the supporting documents, I don't, when I say that, I don't mean 4 pictures. I mean a PowerPoint presentation with 35 pictures, an Excel document that shows all of the savings that have happened for the project, or whatever that particular project is. Show us what and tell us how it was achieved in that particular time frame. The projects do have to be completed in the calendar year 2021. They can start at any time. It could have been 10-year projects that started 10 years ago, but completed in 2021. And I do want to say that there are programs that are continuous programs, so I don't want to exclude those. Those are also looked at as well and can nominate themselves. An individual can nominate themselves. We encourage self-nominations. You have to be located in the state of Tennessee. The project has to happen in the state of Tennessee, and you have to have 3 years of environmental compliance, good compliance history with the state.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go. Good compliance history with TDEC. And how many people apply? How many applications do you get?
We typically get anywhere from 75 to 100 each year, and we have 10 categories plus the pursuit of excellence, so 11 categories. So only 11 winners are picked out of the 100 nominations that come in, and we ask judges from across the state, different departments, different walks of professional history to come in and judge these applications. So TDEC is not the one sitting down and judging these. We actually pull people from across the state into the judging process.
And bottom line, how do you think this is impacting Tennessee and the environment in Tennessee?
I think ultimately we don't, like I said earlier, I would love to know how many people went and turned, all their street lamps into LEDs. We don't know the answer of what the impact is, but I would have to think that when somebody sees these successes, they're like, I really think I could do that. Let me see how I can make that happen in my county or my city or my school. Definitely K through 12, they really get inspired. Higher education, they get super inspired with other projects, and I have seen those turn around and be like, I can do that.
Well, Kathy, thank you so much for coming on. That was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we will take a break. I'll come back, wrap everything up right after this.